first best student in the nation. How did that feel like?
After the result, I felt very good at that time.
By the way, a fact that people might not know is that you're also the fourth best student in the region, right?
In primary school.
In primary school.
Yeah, in my region.
You studied in a government school in primary, and the medium of instruction was Swahili, right? Later you moved to secondary school, and the medium of instruction was English. What challenge did you face transforming from Swahili to English as the medium of instruction?
All I can say, it wasn't easy.
I think a lot of students out there do not understand the role that mentors play in the academic success, right? And so what do you think will be some of the best ways to kind of like get mentors who can help them in the academics?
Getting some people who have already done those stuff and who are ahead of you, having that passion to change your family and to change the people around you. I think that's what drives me to do things which I'm doing right now.
What role did your friends play in your academic success?
Okay, I can say I had two types of friends.
Seen that during this pandemic time, the government has used its national TV, TVC, to kind of like create a schedule and teach students who are in examination classes, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
How do you think students can utilize this opportunity?
Okay.
Welcome to Valuetent, and here I am with Hope Cosmas, who was the first best student in the nation in 2018. Hope, welcome.
Yes.
Hope Cosmas, you are the first best student in the nation. How did that feel like?
After the result, I felt very good at that time because I didn't expect to perform that much. But things turned out like it worked, so I was like, wow.
You're excited about it.
Yeah.
Well, before we jump into you being the first best student in the nation, let's speak about your journey. How did you make it there?
So, okay, let me start from my primary school.
Yeah, from my primary school.
I was a good student, I can say, in primary school. I used to perform that good, I can say. But, the experience, I'm from a Swahili school. Just a local school. We used to study English as just one subject. I wasn't that fluent in the English language. After the primary national exam, I was lucky, I can say, to got admitted or got selected to Ilboru Secondary School.
Which by the way, Ilboru Secondary School is one of the best schools in Tanzania.
Yeah, I can say my journey started at Ilboru. Getting there, meeting people, it was so mind-blowing.
And let's speak about your. By the way, a fact that people might not know is that you're also the fourth best student in your region, right?
In primary school. Yeah, in my region. I was in the 5th position in my primary school. Yeah. Okay, I didn't expect that. Considering the fact that I'm from a Swahili school, so English medium.
So expected the students from English medium.
I didn't expect to be among the best students in primary school, but I did in secondary school. I don't know why.
Let's speak about you moving from primary school to secondary school. So you went. You studied in a government school in primary, and the medium of instruction was Swahili, right? Later you moved to secondary school, and the medium of instruction was English. How was the movement in the beginning? What challenge did you face transforming from Swahili to English as the medium of instruction?
All I can say, it wasn't easy. I did very bad in my Form 1, just because I didn't know the language that good. If you're from Swahili school, you don't know English that much, and you are not taught English the way you expected them to do so. So joining the secondary schools and that transformation from using Swahili from your daily routine into English was very bad. And my first results in Form 1 wasn't good. And I was like, wow, Ilboru is not my place. I'm not fitting here.
So how did you adapt? Because I also have a relative who can relate to the story.
Wow.
And in fact, they also moved from Swahili to English. And in fact, they wanted to drop school simply because, they found it challenging for them because it was hard for them to learn through English.
I adapted because of my brother,
Oh, your brother.
Yeah.
What role did he play in this?
My brother bought me some books, grammar books, and he was encouraging me, mentoring, like, kid, you can do it. Just stay focused, And I was like, wow, let me try to find some ways to master myself, like having a schedule, meeting people, talking to some brothers like Hofin, Sangudi, that to my brother there. So they helped me a lot to copy with the system. And after that, I realized like I can do better than what I was doing at that time. It's just a matter of realizing your problem and then getting people along the way to help you to sort out that problem.
Yeah. On the same note, you spoke about having your brother as a mentor.
Yeah.
Right? like do you have any other mentor apart from your brother? And specifically, what was the role of what's the role that they played in your academic success?
Okay, they were my mentors, I can say, but more like brothers, because there were people who were looking up to, like, wow, I just need to perform like that brother. So I used to talk to them, and they used to advise me like, hey, let me help you to plan your timetable, let me help you with this subject. So yeah, I can say I had my mentors, and I'm still having them around, and they help me until today.
I think a lot of students out there do not understand the role that mentors play in the academic success, right? And so what do you think will be some of the best ways to kind of like get mentors who can help them in the academic success?
One of the best ways for students to have mentors, it's just a matter of realization, self-awareness, like what are the things you want to do in the future, and getting some people who have already done those stuff and who are ahead of you. It's very good. So try to connect yourself to some people. Maybe they are out there. There are so many people. I think it's just not a matter of maybe you are looking for Ben Carson who is in US and you are in Africa. No, just look at the people around you. Around your community. There are a lot of them, and they can help you to get along the way. And it's just not a matter of maybe they have gone miles away. You can take your brother, your parents. Just listen to them. They have something unique you don't know.
You spoke about about someone who you are looking up to. Can you tell us more about that? Who was the person you are looking up to, and why?
Okay, so I had different people who I used to look up to. I can say some of them were within my community, but the rest were outside my world. Like I couldn't see them.
Couldn't get access to
them. Yeah. So my mentors, as I told you, these are more like my brothers and sisters. People around me. One of them is my brother.
Yeah, you said.
Yeah, my relative. And others were just my classmates. Having those people around, it was a very good thing.
Your brother also went to Ilboru.
Yeah.
Do you think him going to Ilboru inspired you to also want to go to Ilboru?
A lot. I think that was my dream since my primary school. And I used to write down, like, I want to go to Ilboru, just because of my brother. And he was like, kid, if you beat my record, I'm going to give you a gift. So I was struggling all along to beat his records. And
okay, so when you're at school, what are some of the things that inspired you the most to study?
To study? Oh, so I think my family.
Your family.
Yeah, so my family played a very huge role and still playing the role. And it just because of the fact that it's a middle family. So having that passion to change your family and to change the people around you. I think that's what drives me to do things which I'm doing right now. So
there are also a lot of students who come from the same type of families, disadvantaged families, but then the problem is they usually forget when they're at school. What do you think is the problem?
Yeah, I think that's a huge problem, just because of their friends. For example, let me consider the fact that I was at Ilboru, and at Ilboru, a lot of kids are from maybe English medium and Swahili schools. So if they get together, you just you start to copy some lifestyles from those kids. And it's a very big challenge. But I think the best thing that anyone can do is just to realize their roles and their backgrounds. I think that drives a lot, to look beyond what you can be able to see.
You also spoke about friends and how they influence others,
how they influence your journey.
What role do friends play in your academic success? What role did your friends play in your academic success?
Okay, I can say I had two types of friends. I had those people who were used to perform better than I do, better than I did at that time. But also I'm having those people who I'm doing better than them. So I think I'm learning from both sides. So those students who are doing better than me, those are people who I'm looking up to. It's just, I can say it's just kind of competition. You look up to them and you feel like, wow, okay, let me try to break his records. Let me try to do this and that. They encouraged me to perform much better than what I was doing.
Also, it is true that, the friends that students associate themselves are the ones who are going to influence
your journey, your academic success. Just try to choose people according to your needs, but never forget to mix them. You get
have them from both sides. Don't forget to have friends from
both sides, because you learn from both of them.
Because you
learn.
That's true. After adapting now to the medium of instruction, how did your academic journey change?
It was in Form 2. I remember that was my first time to be among the top 10 students, And I was like, wow, okay, this game is ours.
Top 10 students in the school?
Yeah, in the school.
In the school.
Schools. Yeah, so after appearing there, I was like, okay, let me try to maintain the position. And, I started to set these big goals, like, I can be among the top students in the country.
Yeah.
But I never believed in myself, that kind of fear. It just comes naturally. So, yeah, I knew I could do better than what I was doing at that time. But there are big challenges like your school status, maybe considering the fact that some students are in fancy schools and you are in just a government school. So those were distractions. Those were things which distracted me at that time. But I just took a shoot, like, okay, let me try.
So it's okay for someone to have dreams even if they don't know they're going to achieve them?
Yeah, it's very okay. And I think that's the best thing. Like, just try to have that dream. Even if you don't know if it's going to happen or not, it just pushes you to work very hard to achieve. Yeah. Even if you cannot see the way. So I didn't see the way at that time, like becoming among the top students.
But you knew you wanted to become
I knew I wanted
students.
to be, and I knew, okay, I can be this. Because some students did, and they were from the same school as they were. So it was wow.
Yeah, and you spoke about, you attending a government school and thinking hey, there are students who are attending private schools, so they have a higher chance of, succeeding in their academics compared to me. That's true that, a lot of private schools, they have access to enough resources compared to government schools, right? But then it ends up that, most government schools outperform private schools, right?
Yeah.
What do you think is the reason behind that?
Okay, I had that mindset, like, being in a private school, you perform much better than those students in government school. It's true at some point, but I don't think if that's the reason for some students not doing well. Considering the fact that some students in public schools are performing well more than those students in private school. So just realizing yourself, like, wow, I don't have resources, but I need to put that in the work.
You need to put in
the work. So like having friends and finding those resources around you are not able to buy all the books maybe, but people around you, they have those books. So being like in contact with them when trying to talk to them in order to get the resources, they are going to teach you sometimes, give you the books, and you're gonna learn something.
Yeah, because it's crazy how you have the top schools, they're government schools, right? And then you have private schools in between, but then a disappointing thing is that at the bottom you also have government schools. Speaking about resources, right? Like you spoke about, they can find friends who can help them and and get resources from them. What role do you think the government has to play in resources?
Okay, the government has its role to play in distributing those resources needed, like books, making teachers, like a lot of teachers, I can say. Okay, but I don't think if right now, so far the government has done a good job in Tanzania, because we are using those books from the Ministry of Education. But I think the majority of students, they don't use those resources most effective.
They are not utilizing the resources.
They're not utilizing the resources. But also the government has a role to play to distribute the resources to rural schools, but in towns I think schools are having good books, and the government is doing a good job. So it's just a matter of students to use those resources effectively and to find the best way out.
And also speaking about how the government is kind of like trying to create resources to students, we have seen that during this pandemic time, the government has used its national TV, TBC, to kind of like create a schedule and teach students who are in examination classes, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
How do you think students can utilize this opportunity?
Okay, I think for considering the crisis right now, the COVID thing,
and all schools are closed down, but students are still going to write their final exams.
Their final exams, of course.
That is what we hope, right?
And the government has tried to open out, to widen the ways for students to learn. And using the national TV and radio to have those sessions, it's a good thing. I think it's just a matter of students to use them,
And that's the problem. It's hard for students to utilize such opportunities, right? What do you think they can do to utilize? If you're in their position, what would you be doing to utilize the opportunities?
Okay, this actually connects to one's dreams, I can say. Sometimes having those big dreams, they tend to encourage you to do some crazy stuff, like, what I mean, to think big. So crazy stuff, like you're gonna push yourself to study even the time you don't feel like studying. So just knowing where you wanna go and taking ownership of your learning.
Of your
the
own
best,
learning.
yeah, that's the best thing you can do.
Taking ownership of your own learning.
Of your own learning, like just work, like try to do the things you want to do in order to achieve your goal. But if you don't have dreams, I swear you are not going to learn anything, because you just be dancing according to the beat, like time for music, let me just go this way, time for what, chatting, social media and all those stuff. They're going to distract you at some point.
Actually very grateful for the government creating such an opportunity for students to keep on studying while they're still at home.
Yeah, so
a lot of people would actually ask what was the secret behind. They really don't believe, you just followed the normal studying timetable that the school had. Probably they believe you did something else during the holiday. What else were you doing outside classroom?
During the holiday, you know what, I never attended tuition.
Really?
Yeah.
And why is that? We believe, and most of the church tell us that while we are at home we need to be studying and preparing for school, but you didn't do that. What were you doing?
Okay, I think I can say what I did. I used to cover topics in schools before getting back home during the holiday. Wow. So when the holiday came at that time, I was already done with the
already covered the topics.
Yeah, the things were needed to be done.
Yeah.
What I did during the holiday was to teach some of my friends who maybe attended to this local school. Yeah, so that's the thing I used to do during the holiday. Teaching people around my community.
That's very nice of you.
Yeah.
Now to the big story. You became the first best student in the nation. But did your parents believe that?
No, they didn't.
Why?
They never expected, I can say. After the result, they asked, why? Hope, did you ever dream like becoming this? I was like, no, I never. But I just believed I could be among the top 10 students.
The best students.
But I never told them, so they never knew.
So in fact, you were actually called by Mwananchi newspaper and to inform you that you are the first best student, but you did not believe it.
I did not believe.
And in fact, your friend was the one who called you first in the morning telling you that, hey, I think you're the best student in the nation, and you also didn't believe in
I was like, man, stop that.
So it also was like, you didn't believe it, you were surprised.
I didn't believe because I didn't finish the exam. Yeah.
Really?
Mathematics. 10-mark question I left, like. So,
a 10 marks question. What was your score in mathematics?
I don't know, but I got A.
You got an A?
Yeah.
Didn't finish the questions, but got an A in mathematics.
Okay, that's what you can learn from that. I think you don't need to finish everything. Just focus on what's important at that time.
So at some point in academics, it's about strategizing and
knowing what you want,
strength and weaknesses are.
Strength and weaknesses. So I did the exam and I expected to get A because every question that I did, I knew I'm going to get.
Oh, so yeah.
Even if I couldn't finish the exam, but I knew I'm going to get.
You knew the ones that you did,
I did get them right. So that's it. That's a secret. Just focus on what's important at that time.
That's nice. After Ilboro, you decided to attend the African Leadership Academy. An institution in Johannesburg, South Africa that aims at developing the next generation of ethical entrepreneurs and leaders.
Yeah.
Why ALA?
Okay, first of all, I can say I needed a different experience from what I used to be around. Being in the system, Tanzanian system, I've been there for more than 7 + 4 is almost
more than 11
years. So I've been there for more than 11 years, and I wanted a different experience, like meeting people from a diverse group of people. So that's what I got here at LA, because having those people from Nigeria, South Africa, Tunisia, and every part of the continent is a huge deal. You learn a lot from them, and it's a very good experience. Hope from Wilbur is very different from Hope you see right now here.
Very different. In what terms?
Okay, I've changed a lot. Because at Wilbur at that time, I used to study, I can say. But right now, I'm focusing on learning new stuff. I'm not that bookworm student. I'm just learning from people around and trying to master my schedule and learning new things outside the classroom. So that's what I'm doing right now, and I think it's a very big deal.
Yeah, are you also aligning with the institution's mission of leadership and entrepreneurship?
For the next generation? Yeah, leadership and entrepreneurship, and those are causes which I think are very important to be included in our curriculum back in Tanzania, because I don't think if we do have those causes. We don't,
no,
right?
We do not have those causes.
Yeah, they are very important for, entrepreneurship. The thing about realizing problems in your community and taking some steps to solve them, and leadership skills, these are skills you need in your lifetime. Without these skills, I don't think if you are going to live a worthwhile life. So I think these are things which the government should look up on them to include in the curriculum, and they are very important, as you can see.
And we also have like writing and rhetoric class, a class that it exists to help students to kind of like know how to present the ideas in
being patriotic, all those stuff,
and African studies. And when you speak about communication skills, right? I remember in my previous school we had morning speeches whereby students were supposed to go in front of other students to give them their story, right?
The stories.
It was one of the things that students hated the most, and unfortunately that's the problem that they end up facing after they graduate from college, because they cannot express themselves. So do you think probably maybe English department or schools should start a program that will enable students to become effective communicators?
Yeah, I can relate to that story, because I was among those students who hated morning speech, because I never wanted to be part of the morning speech. You don't have that, I can say, that energy to use or to speak English in front of the people, just because of our system. They are much more focusing on building your skills, hard skills, just solving, doing this stuff. But these soft skills like communication, they are like people are not learning them.
So you spoke about one of the challenges as to why they don't like doing morning speeches or kind of like speaking in front of the audiences, is because they are not fluent in English.
Yeah.
What do you think should be done?
I think because we can't remove these schools, Swahili as a medium of instruction in primary schools. But I think what we can do right now is just to focus on primary schools, trying to
strengthen the
English as the subject, and students and teachers from primary schools up to secondary. So that when students get into secondary school, at least they can introduce themselves and try to they have strong foundation in English. Yeah, that's what you can do at this time.
And speaking about entrepreneurship, you spoke about how you defined entrepreneurship as a way of kind of like seeing opportunities where there are challenges, right?
Yeah.
What do you think? What role do you think entrepreneurship will have to play when students are taught in secondary schools and when they graduate from college?
Okay.
Because right now, the government insists that students or graduates should be able to create their own opportunities after they graduate, right? Unfortunately, there isn't a good system that will enable them to do that.
Yeah.
Because they're not taught how to do that, right?
Skills, right?
So do you think entrepreneurship will play a role in enabling individuals to employ themselves, or at least create employments for others after they graduate from universities?
Yeah, I think entrepreneurship will play a huge role to transform our societies, because learning entrepreneurship skills will actually enable you to realize some problems and creating possible solutions to solve them. So it keeps your mind like
active
thinking. You just think outside the box and learn some stuff. So learning entrepreneurship in schools, I think we need to include this system, because students will use their skills to solve their own problems back home and back in their communities. And after having these problems, students can start their own project. And when you start your own project, it means that's self-employment. You don't need the government to try, or you want to.
And you can also create opportunities for others.
For others, yeah. So that's the thing we can do right now. Try to include the subject or into our curriculum, and try where it takes us.
That is true, because having programs such as Tanzania Young Scientists enables individuals who are passionate about innovation and to kind of create their projects and showcase them to the country.
Yeah, but I don't think if we do have these social we do some social competition, but they are not in schools, they are outside schools. So if we have this competition, innovation, like
also
being innovative, creative,
so you mean
within
it
the
needs
schools,
to start from within the schools,
from within the
then
schools,
all the way up to the
up to
the
you know,
nation.
yeah. Some friends of mine competed outside the schools, but not within the schools. So if we are having this competition within the schools,
yeah, so like I think schools can learn from St. Jude's because they have a day which is called Science Day, and it's a day that, you know, students can showcase their innovations, and in fact the school supports them, you know, with kind of like ensuring that they have access to resources that they need to develop their projects. And in fact we had students who made it from, you know, from the school all the way to the nation. We had Eric Simon and his friend Prosper, and they were able to make it, you know, so they created their project at St. Jude's, took it to Tanzania young scientists, and they became the first winners.
So you see that example.
So also school plays
from the
a
schools.
very important role in kind of like helping students who are passionate about innovation.
Yeah, that was a very good example. I think people can relate.
So probably schools should start thinking about how they can help students who are passionate about innovation.
And opening ways to have competitions within the schools about innovation, creativity.
Yeah, because these are the students who are later going to become, you know, job creators in the country, so exactly. they need to be supported.
Very true. Sure.
Yeah, I think it's something that really the government should try and consider.
Yeah, should consider it, and just students should also be, you know, just be active.
Yeah, active and
put yourself into different skills.
Take the opportunities when given to them.
Yeah.
You are at the African Leadership Academy. Yep. What are some of the things you are working on right now?
So right now, after being admitted here, what I thought is giving back to my community, and the best thing I can do now is I'm planning to I've already started a place where youth can share their stories. It's not about your own stories, but also you can share if you are having any innovative idea or any project, so that some people can look up to and can learn.
So it's also a platform to help innovators
and
individuals
to come
to
to
creativity to
so
showcase their
talents. But at the same time, to encourage those people who don't know
but they don't know
how to take their things further.
How do individuals access this platform?
So right now it's not in social media or other stuff. But what I'm doing now is just to create a conducive environment for the organization to grow, maybe 1 or 2 years to come. So what I'm hoping, after some time, maybe 1 year, the organization will be available on our platform like Google, internet, so that any person can access. And there you are going to find mentors, those innovators, and some creative stuff there. They'll be there.
So individuals, students who are interested in showcasing their talents and passion to the world, and they also want to have access to mentors and to share their stories to other individuals, I think you should definitely look out for Youthbox, because I think it's a platform that enables you to do just that.
At the same time, you'll be able to learn if you resources like books and exams, some tips to how to succeed academically, socially. So all those stuff will be there.
And I think you should also kind of like look into something that has to do with entrepreneurship.
Exactly. That's my plan too.
Helping youth have access to that knowledge in the country, because they definitely need it. They really need it.
Yeah, I think that's part of my plan.
That's awesome. So what are some of the last things that you want to say to youth looking at you right now who aspire to where you are?
Okay, so what I can say now is just try to do some do some self-awareness. Just reflect upon yourself and try to see what you are passionate about. Write down your dreams and try to take steps.
Writing down helps.
Writing down your dreams,
so that you can also keep them tracking. So you write down your dreams, you break them into goals, and now you can start. You can start. Until you reach the final goal.
So you guys expect for the Youthbox, as I've just told you, it's gonna be a platform for anybody within the African continent, and I hope it's gonna be a very big organization, and people gonna learn a lot of things from it. So they'll also find the link to Youthbox platform in the description in this video. It was nice having you, and
we really appreciate taking your time to speak to
thanks,
people who also
thanks a
aspire to
lot.
become
And
like you.
I think this was a very good interview, I can say, and I learned a lot of some stuff.
We appreciate it. And once again, congratulations on becoming the best student in the nation.
Thanks.
We're proud of you.
Yeah,
So thank you guys for watching this video, and for more content
you.
like this, don't forget to subscribe to Valuetent. Thank you.